Welcome to this week's edition of the OCU Athletics Update. I'm Andrew Himes. This week we're talking to Superstar Athlete of the Week, Jamie Rateliff, and Assistant Rowing Coach, Cameron Brown. Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Superstar Athlete of the Week, Jamie Rateliff, a sophomore from Mustang. She is third on the team in batting average at .400, third on the team in RBIs with 15 on the season, has recently started pitching as well for the Stars, going 3-0 with a 1.47 earned run average and 11 strikeouts. The fourth-ranked Stars are 18-4 on the season. And Jamie, you've recently gotten into pitching. Tell us about that a little bit.
I used to be a pitcher in high school or when I was younger, and Coach always knew that, but he never really saw me as a pitcher for college. He just saw me as an outfielder. So that's what I've been doing. And then our pitcher got hurt, Danielle Fox. She was our off-speed pitcher, and so Coach needed another pitcher to hit her spots and throw off speed, so that's where I came into play.
You are third on the team in batting average and RBIs. What's your approach at the plate?
I just got myself to relax a lot more, just see the ball, see a good pitch, and just trust my mechanics, really.
You're in your second year at OCU. What's been the main differences between freshman and sophomore years?
My freshman year, I was really uptight, scared. I mean, the pace of the game was a lot faster than I was used to, so it took me a while to catch back up. And this year, I'm a lot more relaxed and more confident in myself.
What's your major here at OCU?
Biochem.
And what are your career plans after college is over?
Pharmacy. I'm going to do pharmacy school.
Can you share something about yourself that people may not necessarily know?
Me and my teammate, Danielle Fox, we've been best friends since we were 10, and we met each other playing on the Twisters when we were younger, pitching.
All right, we're talking to Superstar Athlete of the Week, Jamie Rateliff. Coming up next on the OCU Athletics Update, we'll hear a special story from OCU Assistant Rowing Coach Cameron Brown.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Assistant Rowing Coach Cameron Brown. He's got a special story to share with us today. And Coach, you've had a long journey over the last about year and a half. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Right, yeah. Well, back in the summer of 2011, I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a syndrome that basically has the immune system then attacks my nervous system. And so in the space of about 12 hours, I went from walking around normally to paralyzed from the neck down, basically.
What was your reaction as you first heard about the disease and what it would cause?
Yeah, well, I was actually in New Jersey with a regatta with some OCU students at the time, and by the time I got to hospital and got diagnosed, it was obvious to me that there was something serious going on. And I remember the neurologist actually, and he sort of diagnosed me. He had a pretty good idea what it was straight away. And he told me we'd get the spinal tap and the MRI and the CT scan. And as he walked away, I just had enough movement left in my arm to kind of Google it on my phone. And so that gave me the information about what it was and what kind of prognosis it was. And I don't know, at the time, I think I just was probably in a little bit of denial that it wasn't as serious as what it turned out to be. And then it all just sort of happened fairly quickly after that.
How long were you paralyzed?
Well, the recovery's still going on, so I guess it depends on your definition of paralysis, really. I still need the use of braces to walk around, and haven't got full mobility yet independently, but I've been out of the wheelchair now for probably about 3 or 4 months, and so I was stuck in the wheelchair really for 12 to 18 months.
What was it like being able to come back to work here at OCU?
It was actually really good. I gave myself the goal of going back to work on day one of the season, and it happened during the summer, 5 weeks before the season started. And I'm fortunate enough to love my job, and it really means a lot to me to get out there and train with the guys. And so I made it a personal mission of mine, and I've got to give thanks to Jim Abbott and Mike Knopp for allowing me to get everything I needed to get back there. But it was great. It was kind of a sense of normalcy for me that I didn't have in any other part of my life at that time. So the athletes were great. I've also got to really acknowledge the athletes, because I think that they understood the situation, and they understood that I wanted to be out there, and that they'd literally carry me down to the launch every morning, up and down the boat ramp, and they really stepped up to the plate. So the athletes really did a great job as well, allowing me to get back to work.
And how about the help of your, at the time, fiance, Jessica, now your wife? How much help did she provide for you?
Yeah, she was incredible. Like I said, at the time, she was my fiance, and we ended up getting married 6 months later. Just from day one, she was completely supportive, and she jumped on a plane straight away up to New Jersey to come and see me. And she was studying full time. She was working. She ended up taking me to work every morning at 4:30 in the morning, and then in the afternoons again at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So she was just ridiculously busy, and she was planning a wedding among all that at the same time. So I don't know how she did it, but she was incredible. It was amazing. Yeah.
And you guys got married in December of 2011, and you were able to walk down the aisle. What was that like? That
was really special. Obviously, no one wants to be sick on their wedding day, but it was a major goal of mine again from the beginning, really, to be able to walk down the aisle. And it wasn't as smooth or as quick or as the way I probably planned it when I first got engaged, but it was a big goal of mine, a big motivation for me during the rehabilitation process, and to be able to do it was was a nice sort of achievement.
How much progress have you made in your rehab process?
There's been quite a bit. When I first got diagnosed, I was completely paralyzed from the neck down, and it's been almost 21 months now, and so I'm able to be fully independent and for the most part fully functional, more or less. So I've come a long way. It took probably about 6 months to be able to walk at all with the use of a walking frame, and it was very disjointed and very short distances. And I remember, about 4 or 5 months into it, I finally was able to feed myself. So there was a lot of check marks along the way. It's come a long way since day one.
What kind of things have gone into the rehab process?
It's been pretty extensive, as you might imagine. I spent 2 months in hospital where I'd do therapy every day, and then following that I was still going to therapy every day, and I'd go for 20 hours a week, and so it was almost like my part-time job really as well. At the moment, we've started to back off the therapy a little bit, and I'm just going once a week now, but there's hydrotherapy, exercises, all that stuff.
Was there a point where you really felt like you turned a corner in your recovery process?
It's hard to say. The improvements have been so gradual and so so drawn out over time. It's been a very long, slow process. In hindsight, looking back on it, then there's been some big factors, but so living it day to day, it's hard to notice them as you're living it. Yes.
What is there left to do for you?
More of the same, really. Just building the strength back up in my legs and in the hands as well is the main area, and then that's really the last barrier, I guess. I'm pretty close to where I want to be. I think there's probably another 12 months until I'm fully back to the way I'd like to be, but we're getting there. So.
Turning to the water, what kind of expectations do you have for your men's team this year?
Pretty high expectations, really. I mean, the guys are doing great. We've got a great squad this year. We've got a lot of depth, which is fantastic, and right through from the varsity guys through the freshmen, we've got some pretty big goals for this year. We've been improving steadily for the last couple of seasons, and that's going to continue this year, I think, and moving forward. So it's exciting. Looking forward to it.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Talking to OCU assistant rowing coach Cameron Brown. You can keep up with the rowing team's progress on OCUsports.com. That's it for this week's edition of the OCU Athletics Update. Check back every week for all the latest in OCU sports.